Okay, Jane Marie, we are live on YouTube.
Okay, so welcome everyone to our Community Board 10 Traffic and Transportation Committee meeting. As you're joining us today, you may be thinking, she doesn't look like Jack Zhang. I just wanted to share and express our appreciation and gratitude of our dear Jack Zhang has moved on, and I will be temporarily taking over the traffic and transportation helm in his absence. We thank Jack for all his time and talent and time with Community Board 10 and appreciate all that he was able to do for us and with us. And quite frankly, he's left me one of the best Traffic and Transportation Committee agendas. It's my favorite Traffic and Transportation Committee agenda because tonight we get to talk about some of the festivals and celebrations that are really the hallmark of our district and our community. So, Josephine, according to our agenda, we're going to be starting by hearing about the Fifth Avenue Festival. Is that coming up first on yours? I see you're getting our Zoom screen
Yes,
ready.
here we have our Zoom ready.
Terrific.
And our first item on the agenda is Fifth Avenue Festival, which is going to take place this year, May 31st, 2026. And that is a SAPO application for a street festival on Fifth Avenue between Bay Ridge Avenue and 85th Street. It's event ID number 899156. It takes place each year from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Setup is 8 a.m. and breakdown is 8 p.m. It was approved last year with some stipulations, which I won't read out loud right now, but I'll turn it over to, we have Liz Lovejoy here, who's the Executive Director of the Fifth Avenue
Yeah,
Business Improvement District. Yes.
you can find the ID 913-061.
I don't, whatever it is. It's 899. Oh, I'm sorry, 899156. Did I read the wrong thing? It's event ID
That's
899156.
correct.
It
Well, then
might be
error. There might be an
right
error on
on the agenda.
okay, so I'll turn it over to Liz and I think Chip is here too, Cafaro.
Great.
If you want to just share
So
Liz.
this festival is a little bit earlier this year because we usually have it in June.
It's the first time it's
Yeah.
pulled
And it's
this
in
early in
its 32nd year this coming year. I know.
I was a baby.
Mhm.
So every year we do increase participation. We have seen merchant participation increase as well as vendors. And we definitely want to get artists and crafters involved as well. Nothing else has much changed except we do have ticketing software from the amusement rides. I did want to bring up a concern that we had last year with the towing. It was a little bit earlier than expected, thus there were cars that were still parked. What did you check?
When you say the towing, there was not enough towing?
It came, yeah, and it came way too early.
They came in the middle of the night last year and we're gone, almost gone by the time the festival started. So it made it very difficult. That's the biggest problem we have every year with both festivals. Really.
Is it towing? Actually, we have Police Officer Mina Gandor from the 68th Precinct on the call. Mina, I'm going to I see that you're here. I just wanted to make sure that you heard some of the concerns that were raised by the Fifth Avenue bid. I don't know if there's much we can do, but I just wanted to relay that to you and we'll make note of it. There he is. Hey,
Yes,
Mina.
hi everyone. Yeah,
How
I'm
are you?
taking notes. So I don't think the tow trucks left before the festival started, but as people started setting up, it became very hard to have the tow trucks go down the street to to continue towing. What I noticed over the years is people don't really care for the signs anymore. So we've been getting the tow trucks earlier because there are a lot more cars that are left on the avenue the day of the festival. So I'll bring that to the captain's attention and see if we could get maybe more tow trucks. I'm not sure about like how much resources we'll be able to get, but the thing I noticed, as I said, is people just don't move their cars from the night before.
Okay. Is that okay, Chip?
One comment, last year, Third Avenue was the best I've seen in 48 years.
That is true.
Third Avenue was amazing this year,
Okay,
and that there was hardly any cars in the morning, which I couldn't believe.
okay.
So, I don't know, I guess it was.
When people cooperate, they make it a lot easier, but they don't.
Well, you guys also did a great job this year, so hopefully you remember what we did. We do it again this year on
Great.
Fifth and Third.
All right, well, thank you.
Made it a lot easier, a lot easier.
Okay, so I'm gonna go back to the screen then with the stipulations. So last year's stipulations were same for fifth and third. NYPD's amplified sound permit is to end at 6 p.m. Amplified sound permits will be issued at the direction of the Fifth Avenue Business Improvement District, and all applicants must adhere to New York City code regulations and NYPD rules relating to sound permits. A list of permits must be provided to Community Board 10. And each year that's done, so thank you very much. DSNY must begin cleaning after the event closes at 6 p.m. All SLA licensed premises applying for a one-day outdoor use permit must submit a signed letter notifying CB10 that their SLA license has received the licensee has received the SAPO SAPO Festival rules. That's the Street Activity Permit Office. I know there's lots of acronyms for those who are new to this process. Violations of SAPO rules will be subject to enforcement. In addition, Community Board 10 will submit complaints of rule violations to the respective agencies, SAPO, NYPD, and SLA. Establishments that do not obtain a one-day SLA permit will not be permitted to serve alcohol. Festival marshals must report any vendor to NYPD for enforcement. Distribution of festival regulations to all participating vendors and merchants. And the Fifth Avenue bid as sponsor will attend an interagency meeting organized by Community Board 10 with the leadership of NYPD, DSNY, SAPO, and DOT. That's good?
You got it down pat now.
Got it down pat, and you know what, there were no community complaints last year at all, so
I do have a quick question.
Yes.
Has there been any updates in regarding like the license with the SLA and obtain for bars and restaurants to obtain them?
for the during this,
Yeah.
we haven't received any notices. I know that they were working on that last year. That's a great question, Liz, so that's something that we should follow up with, and we'll do that offline.
Great.
Okay. Just for the committee's attention, there was a change in process last year. Following some of the temporary rules became more permanent. The State Liquor Authority did require quite a cumbersome form, and there were many requests for that to be streamlined. So hopefully that has changed, but we'll follow up. It's early enough now in February. We should start now. I agree. Okay, so Jane, that concludes Fifth Avenue. What we would need is a motion and a second and a vote to present before the board at the upcoming meeting next week.
Okay, so board members, did you have any questions or discussion? All right,
Yeah.
we have our motion here. Do we have that agreed upon and seconded? I see Doris's hand
And Chris?
Great.
And
All
just-
right, then, all in favor?
Oh, wait, I'm sorry, Jane, we have one
Oh.
question from Larry.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see that.
That's
Thank
okay.
you.
The bus was to be diverted,
Yes,
do we know which way they're gonna go? or-
they go to Fourth Avenue.
What's the point?
Okay, now we're ready. All in favor?
Yep, all in favor.
Okay. Oh, it looks unanimous.
All
All
right,
right, thank you all.
thank you.
Okay, so the next item. Next is Holy Cross Greek Cultural Festival, September 17th to the 20th. Its event IDs 906751 and 906752. There are two separate permits, one for Ridge Boulevard between 84th and 86th Streets, and one for 85th between Ridge and Colonial. The time of the event is 10 a.m. to 10 p.m., approved last year with the following stipulations: that the music will end at 10 p.m., that all rides will be removed by Tuesday following the festival, and that no DOT ASP signs shall be removed. But I think there was an update from that from last year, right? Is there a permitting process, or is it an update? Holy Cross is here if you want to introduce
Yes,
yourself.
Demetrius Calamaris. That's how we got
Good.
regrettably missed the bid meeting, but I got called in the last. I know there's been a chronic problem with that sign, I think by Adelphi on the corner of 86th and Ridge. The problem is we're not doing it. It's the ride guy. I guess he can't get his trucks in there, so a few years back he cut it and then he bolted it with a bracket back on, and he got grief for that. We told him, please don't do it, please don't do it. And then we found out that there is some mechanism where the city allows you to do something.
Yeah, there is a mechanism with DOT. We were notified last year, and I believe the ride company did complete an application, work DOT to remove and replace.
So last year, I think this year, up from the past year, it was cleared up.
Yes, that was definitely cleared up.
So we will endeavor to tell the ride people to do the same thing this year.
Right. The other issue was with the ride company. It was about sidewalk access, and the length of time that they're there after the event.
Yeah. Again, we advise them they have to be off immediately afterwards. I know Sunday night they start breaking down. There was one issue, and I think for their sake, I think depending on what their schedule is, for their efficiencies, if they have to go to something local, instead of bringing it back to wherever they store the stuff, they keep it there a couple of days. I said, you know what, bring it back. We'll go directly to the San Gennaro Festival, wherever they might be going afterwards. So again, we will tell them they gotta be off by Tuesday, and we'll get as much assurance as we can from them. But putting a gun to their head is not.
What's the date of?
It's 7th. Well,
It's September 17th to the 20th.
Which is a Thursday to Sunday. So
Thursday
the
to Sunday.
schools might even have issue
That's
for if they're setting up on Thursday afternoon. And then again, for arrival and dismissal on Friday, definitely for dismissal on Thursday. I don't know how early the street is shut down, when the permits, because it says from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. So if that includes the Thursday, that would affect the schools as well.
Yeah, they don't shut down. Ridge,
They don't shut down Ridge,
but
but
they-
Right.
they do, yeah.
For the sidewalk,
Correct.
right, that was the complaint, was really about the sidewalks.
So I'll stress that,
Yeah,
get out ASAP.
yeah, and leave a path.
And leave a path.
Leave a path. If they leave a path.
On the
you know,
sidewalk.
On the sidewalk.
Yeah, on the sidewalk. So this way parents with young children don't feel they have to walk in
I
the
think the problem is
street.
they just leave, sometimes they'll leave the equipment in
Right.
front of the school, but
Yeah.
not on the sidewalk.
Right.
They just
Mhm.
kind of-
Yeah, well, that was just a comment that,
Yeah.
and I think it's easily done. So if we could, perhaps even add that.
Make sure it's not a fire hydrant or some other.
Oh, yeah.
The FDNY.
FDNY,
They come in and check that.
Mhm.
Yeah, they actually paint the streets
Street.
to let everybody know that behind, or if you're looking for a hydrant, they'll let it, they'll
Okay.
put.
And FDNY also inspects. Chip?
I worked with Adelphi for 15 years. The problem is when the rides are on the avenue, it's the buses at the
Yeah.
end. That's where the conflict comes. That the buses have to pull up on 86th Street and the kids have to come out of the school and walk on the sidewalk around to the bus. But there's really no way around it, so long as the sidewalk is clear.
Mhm.
And may look into getting extra traffic cops during that time. Because 86th Street is a zoo, you know that all the time at dismissal time. So that's where the conflict comes in, just that they gotta be able to walk to the buses.
Okay.
And they have more buses now than ever.
Right.
So,
And you have the confluence of the three schools, because there's 185, there's GK, and there's Adelphi. And, that I'm sure Officer Gandor can share that's been an area of concerns that even the principals have brought up, and, that's something that the precinct has offered support on previously.
Yes, it came up recently, and we've been trying to get a cop there during dismissals, and just to help out. So as it gets closer, we'll monitor the rides and see how it goes. If we need to be there for a dismissal it would be, I guess, Thursday and Friday.
And the Monday, in
And
case
the
they
Monday,
need you. So that would be like the 17th, the 18th, and the 21st. So if those
Yeah,
three
it would
dates
definitely help.
yeah, I think that if you can pre-plan that would really help the community a lot.
Yes, yeah, no, we'll monitor it, and as it gets closer, we'll definitely try to help as much as we can.
Good. This way we can be responsive to the community concerns and really also work to help support, this festival that the community looks forward to as well.
Of
Thank
course.
Okay. Okay, Jane, so that concludes, so we would just again need a motion.
Okay, so this is on the table. Do we have a motion? I can't see fully everybody, Josephine, so if you could
Yes,
help me
okay,
with
so
that
I see,
part.
I'm sorry, Larry has his hand raised and
Okay.
Romeo Petrick has a second.
Thank you.
Okay, so any questions? I don't see any, so I guess we just need an all in favor.
All right.
Okay, again, looks unanimous. Any opposed? Extension recusals? No, everyone had their hand raised. Okay, Jane, so moving right along,
Great. So now we're back on the avenue.
we're back on the Avenue, Third Avenue
Okay.
Festival, which is September 27th, 2026. It is event ID 899156. Third, yes, you can go. It is the Third Avenue between Bay Ridge Avenue and 94th Street. The time of the festival, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. with a setup time of 8 a.m. and breakdown of 8 p.m. It was approved with the following stipulations last year, identical to Fifth Avenue's, with the exception that because Third Avenue is so large, the decision is made by Department of Sanitation which end to begin on, and we kind of worked that out in advance at the interagency meeting. But this year we have a new organizer for the event, and he is here to join us. I'm going to have him introduce himself. Leo?
I'm Leo Bifilco, born and raised in Brooklyn, New York, and basically I own a company called Music Express. We're an entertainment production company, management company, and we do all kinds of large events like summer concerts and festivals, and we also do private events, stuff on golf courses and stuff like that. I've known Chip for quite a while. I took over the summer concerts in Shore Road. I've been doing them. I've been doing all the Christmas tree lightings at Cannibal Park, at Dyker Park. I've been doing the Halloween event at Owl's Head Park. I'm also a retired sanitation officer from New York City, so I know well about, sanitation, fire department. I'm also good friends, I know P.O. Mina very well. We do the 9/11 event together. So pretty much I'm on board for this event. I took over for Chip, and Chip is gonna, help us out along the way. If there's anything that we need, he's gonna help us out as like a counsel for us, and we're set to do it and we're ready to go. We want to introduce some new things. We don't know if we're going to do them right away. We're going to kind of just do this year the way it was done and try to implement some new things. And then next year we want to try to do some new stuff to generate money and generate fun on the event.
Okay, that's great. Welcome. Jane, I just wanted to share, we've had no real issues with Third Avenue last festival. There is sometimes a concern to share with you about some of the sound permit teas do not end at 6 p.m. They like to carry it through, and that's kind of important to residents that we keep music at, volumes that are not, that are within the noise code. That's why it's part of the stipulation agreement. And just to make those, especially if you have new participants this year that may have not been here last year, to make them aware of the
Yeah,
sound permit
I do the
concerns.
summer concerts. I make sure that they get done at the right time. I'm really, proper and prompt with the stuff that has to be done. I like to follow the right rules and the way that things are done and get it done the right way so we don't have any issues. And we have a
Okay,
good report.
well, welcome. First time we've met, so
Yes.
so welcome to CB10 and to running I guess it's the longest, is it the longest
Just
running
day.
one-day festival in New York City?
Yep.
And it's
Wow.
right here in CB10, so that's pretty great.
What is it, 53 years?
57 years. Oh, you're doing
Yeah.
it 47 years,
I'm doing it 47, I think it's not 53.
53 years, yeah.
57 is regular.
53 sounds right.
Yeah. So, Leo, again, the state liquor authority, will have to work with in advance. They require that merchants who are selling alcohol be on their premise, require a 1-day permit to, for
Walk on
them,
the avenue.
for them to sell beyond the, if they're setting up tables or, outside service, they will be required to have a 1-day permit. I'm going to be reaching out to you and to the State Liquor Authority, and we'll work that out. We worked together last year. We spent quite a few days here trying to figure that out last year. We kind of got through it together. It was a big learning curve, but we'll follow up this year because we're hoping, after many complaints about the process, that maybe it'll be a little streamlined this year.
I mean, I have a lot of permits with the city and I've gone through a lot of these processes, so I know some of the hassles.
Yeah,
of
this
getting-
was a new one last year for us, so, okay, we'll talk about that. So Jane Marie, I'll turn it back to you. The stipulations are printed up before us, and I'll stop the share. Again, we're gonna need a motion and
Okay. So do we have a motion from our board members? I see Doris. Okay. So if I can have that seconded,
Carmen?
thank you. And now
Awesome.
we're ready to vote. All in favor?
favor?
Did we have any questions? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Josephine, if you can see, I
Yep,
did.
no questions here?
All right, so now we are ready to
Now
vote.
we're ready to vote,
Okay.
okay. All in favor? Okay, it's unanimous here. Any opposed, abstentions, recusals? Nope, everyone had their, okay, so I'm gonna move along to the next agenda item.
Great. Okay, so that concludes all of our festivals on the agenda.
You know what, Jane, we also have here tonight, I don't know if you want to maybe go a little bit out of order,
Okay.
because Mirza, the co-founder of Pineapple Ride, I see him here and he wanted to introduce himself. Hasn't applied yet, but he will be applying at some point for a SAPO in the district. And I see that you're here, Mirza, and the next one involves a few slides. So maybe if you wanted to take some time now to introduce yourself to the committee from Pineapple.
Yes, Mirza, I
Mhm.
have to say, I thought maybe you were taking us to Hawaii, but I understand Hawaii is not on the table.
Next time.
And am I
Okay,
pronouncing your name correctly?
Yeah. It's good. Mirza. It's as
Mirza,
good as it's
okay,
gonna
I'm
get.
sorry.
No worries.
Mirza, I'll get it
Um,
right.
I'm actually here with Jim. He's also here with me. I was at their office. Street Lab is the partner. I was with their office earlier today, and the SAPO permit, I believe Kendra had already submitted. She's someone that Jim works with. So yes, I am Mirza. I am the co-founder of Pineapple Ride. I am a longtime resident of Bath Beach. I grew up in Bath Beach. I've spent most of my life here, and recently I've started working on transforming, revitalizing, and providing permanent stewardship to Bay Parkway, Caesars Bay. So you guys are all familiar with Caesars Bay, I'm sure. You have the shopping center on one side, you have the greenway on the other, and then you have those rocks that are usually filled to the brim with garbage. There's late night activity, people doing donuts, keeping us up at night. I don't have to explain it. I'm sure you guys have similar issues going on in other parts, in your parts of the community board. But in recent times, we've started working on Bay Parkway, like I mentioned, and we are submitting, or have rather submitted, a SAPO permit for Bay Ridge Avenue to do something similar underneath the Belt Parkway underpass, to basically transform it into a one-day plaza event for children. What we've done at Bay Parkway is we've brought free bicycle repair, free cafe. Street Lab would come with their children's programming. They would bring Legos, artwork, obstacle courses. Basically, the whole thing would be set up to kind of look like a little plaza or a little playground. Jim, if I'm saying anything wrong, please jump in and correct me. But basically, to transform the spot into something a little bit more than what it is now. I imagine you guys also have late night donut activity, keeping up the residents in that area. I imagine you also have some late night dumping. Probably not as much as we do, We submitted the SAPO today, and hopefully April 4th, we would be bringing this programming to
Yeah.
that location.
Yeah, thanks for that, Mirza. I just wanted to jump in because Mirza is I think selling the vision very a lot shorter than I really feel it is. Mirza has Pineapple is a bike advocacy organization along with doing these cleanups and street level improvements. And Mirza has long talked about the Greenway as a connector. And every year they do a ride where they ride all around the city. And last year I got to join them on this ride. And one of the stops that we stopped at was American Veterans Memorial Pier right there. And Mirza had identified this as a really amazing space with a lot of potential. And so he had this idea of like, why don't we do what we did on Bay Parkway, starting an open street there in this space here under the underpass in an area that, as he said, could really use some potential sprucing up. It's right next to the Narrows Botanical Gardens. And it's kind of this like in-between space. Street Lab, we're a nonprofit that supports local community groups around the city to activate and transform spaces with temporary programming. So I know y'all were just going through the festivals and talking about that amazing work. We do kind of more like long-term projects where we'll go multiple weeks on end. So through the city's Open Streets program, we'll work with schools or other local orgs like Mirza to activate a space, on a weekly basis to help kind of transform it over time. And so what Mirza is proposing is a one-day test pilot of this space in April to do a cleanup and to try out some programming and see how the space works, close down, see if residents like it, and then maybe potentially apply for a full open street next year and see what it could look like. So yeah, we're really excited to test it out. I'm happy to share our potential programming as well as Street Lab as a resource. I was just looking, it's been a while since we've been to CB10. We did some programming on 3rd Ave and 5th Ave back in 2017 and 2018.
Yep.
And I know that was a huge hit. So happy to remake the connection with you all and maybe support some other initiatives throughout the community board or throughout your district. And yeah, support Mirza and his idea to create a connector on both ends of the Greenway and start revitalizing spaces along the way. So yeah, I'll kick it back to you, Mirza, if there's anything else you want to add.
No, thank you. You did an amazing job. Street Lab, everyone, they're an absolute amazing resource that we have here in the city. And I want to thank Street Lab for helping us with this. So hopefully we'll bring them to you guys again. And I think the children of Bay Ridge will really very much love what Street Lab has to offer. And of course the parents as well.
Full team effort.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I have a concern.
Yeah.
Sure.
The only access to the Sherwood Promenade, there are two accesses for emergency vehicles, 4th Avenue and 101st Street and the 69th Street Pier. So there has to be access for emergency vehicles during this program.
Correct.
Yep,
There is. It's a stipulation that we also had to go through, and every single open street, any plaza, any one of these activations automatically comes with an emergency lane to facilitate emergency vehicles, and of course the waste management facility that's right there. Yeah.
Right. I mean, so Owl's Head treatment plant is right there. It's their only entry and exit point. So I'm sure we'll be with mapping and meeting in advance. We'll have to, kind of work that out, and we'll certainly work in advance with you both, perhaps set up an interagency meeting.
Yeah.
I didn't see the application yet on my end. So this is perfect timing.
Yeah.
So it's nice to see you all, and we'll be in touch.
Okay,
The
great.
board has 30 days, and we'll be meeting again on this. Mirza had come to last month's general board meeting, and we've had the chance to talk a few times. So, he had availability tonight. So thank you so much for coming, and we'll continue and look forward to working with you both. I
Excellent.
am very excited about it.
Yeah, and
Okay.
any other concerns or things that come up, feel free to reach out. I know you have Mirza's contact, and I believe you have my email as well.
Yes, I do,
Yeah,
Jim.
just wanted to open that line of communication as we start this project.
Great, thank you. I'm sorry, Carmen had a quick question.
I just want to ask, how did you come up with your name?
Oh, Mirza's, yeah.
Oh, Pineapple, right? So pineapple is the international sign of welcome. I've worked in food and hospitality for a long time. A lot of doormats will have a pineapple logo. And so it was just, like, hey, welcome. to anyone is free to join and have fun or whatever. Join us. And cleanups. There's plenty of trash for everyone to clean up. So, yeah.
Wonderful.
You mentioned that that your submission was for April 4th. Do you have the times?
Yes, it would be from
happening?
10 a.m. to I believe sunset is at 6. So I think we pulled it until 7. SAPO would go until 6 or 7, but from 10 to 6 or 7. I don't-
Yeah, and Dekinder was working on that permit today. Mirza, I don't know if she actually submitted it yet, so if not, I'll make sure that we put it in tomorrow.
All right, cool.
Okay. Yeah, and once it's in, then we begin our review process here. But thank you so much for the for coming tonight and for introducing yourself to the committee. And we look forward to reviewing your application as soon
Great.
as we get it. All right,
Great.
very good.
Thanks for
Okay.
having us.
I'll see you at the next board meeting.
Yes, very good.
All right, take
Very
care.
good. Thank you. Take care.
Okay.
Okay, so yes, you can go. Chip and yeah, Leah.
Next board meeting.
It is Monday, February 23rd at 7 p.m. at the Fort Hamilton Senior Center.
February 20th, that's next week, right?
That's Monday, yes.
I'm not gonna be able to make that.
That's fine.
Okay, well, when I do our report, I would certainly mention it, that this is coming up, and that we look forward to, hearing more about it, and we'll have more to review once that application comes in.
That's fine. I could probably do the Zoom though.
That's fine.
Okay, that's
Probably
fine.
do the Zoom, but I just won't be able to make it physically.
Well, you'll watch us on YouTube because we don't do Zoom on the
Zoom or YouTube.
unless there's a big snowstorm, and then we may be on Zoom. I don't know. We'll see. Sunday night into Monday. All right. Thank you all. Take care.
Kind of sprinkles around those donuts.
All right.
Take care, guys.
Take care.
Good night.
Okay. So the next item on the agenda is the review of the New York City Truck Route Network redesign report. So if the committee remembers, back, I think last week kind of talked about this was April of 2024 when New York City DOT opened up their portal for feedback and comments. And since then, a report was issued by the Department of Transportation. And Jack and I, over the summer, had heard from DOT that they were getting ready to move forward with their proposed truck route network redesign. And we were really hoping for an updated meeting before rule promulgation would begin. And that looks like it's going to happen sometime this spring or later this spring or early summer. So in speaking about it, we thought it was a good time to kind of update the committee as to where we're at, what some of the proposals are, because DOT did suggest if we have questions in advance of rulemaking, we can certainly send them over to DOT in advance of that process. We did invite DOT to come, but they weren't able to make it and did send over a PowerPoint presentation. So what I wanted to do first was, let's see, is just review with the committee and for, I'm sorry, wrong slide. Share. Okay, can everyone see that? So this is a map of the
Right
current,
now we have, oh, there it goes.
can
Okay.
you see it now?
Now
Okay.
we can see, but I think we're just seeing like one little corner.
Oh, can you not see it? Let's see.
Okay. Okay.
Is that better?
Okay. I see. Yeah. Now I think we're in too close.
Okay. Hi, can I help you? I'm sorry. One second, everyone.
Hi, Josephine.
Yes?
Hi, I'm Frances Al-Sayed. How are you?
Oh, hi, Francis. How are you?
I'm well. I understand that there was a meeting going on tonight that would affect 85th Street and Ridge Boulevard.
Yes, we just finished that portion of the meeting. I'm so sorry.
Can you tell me what happened?
Yeah, so what we're just in the middle of the meeting right now, but I could call you tomorrow and go
I'll
over
see
the,
meeting.
okay, and yeah, and that's fine, then that's
Yeah.
fine, and we'll speak afterwards. Okay, perfect. Okay, so can everyone see my screen? This is the This is the current truck route in Community District 10. It currently comes, down from Sunset Park. It's in blue. It feeds, from, I guess, Second Avenue here down 60th Street, goes to 6th Avenue, and then down 65th Street through CB10 from 6th Avenue all the way to 14th. There's also a turn off on 7th Avenue, both in the southbound direction and the northbound direction that connects to 86th Street, beginning at Fort Hamilton Parkway, also at 92nd Street. And this is just by way of background. So how we got to the release of the report is part of Local Law 171 in 2023. DOT is required to propose changes to the truck route network, focusing on enhancing safety, increasing visibility, and reducing traffic congestion while fostering a culture of compliance with the rules. The designation of truck routes is guided by a set of key principles designed to ensure that the network supports the efficient movement of goods while minimizing impacts on surrounding communities. And the agency has developed a really comprehensive, plan that does include a new portion in CB10. So I'm going to go right into the presentation provided to us by DOT. Let's see here. And here are the proposed changes for Brooklyn. Approximately 13 miles of new truck routes are being added to Brooklyn, and almost 1 mile of truck routes are being removed. New routes are proposed where there are existing gaps in the network, making enforcement difficult. The 3rd Avenue extension, 86th Street, and New Utrecht Avenue. Logical route extensions are proposed between existing routes, Flatlands Avenue, Rockaway Parkway, parts of Bushwick Avenue, and/or where IBZs, that's industrial business zones, lack connections like 2nd Avenue and 29th Street. Some new routes are accommodating changing land uses, for example, the Gateway Mall area, and growing commercial activity. Routes are also added in some places to address constraints in the network, like turn bans. So proposed changes and additions. So you could see here in CB10, there's a list here. CB10 would be 3rd Avenue from 65th Street to 86th Street, which is about 1.17 miles, and 86th Street from 3rd Avenue to Fort Hamilton Parkway. As you saw on the first map I showed you, 86th Street is currently a truck route, but that begins on Fort Hamilton Parkway. So currently, the 3rd Avenue truck route dead ends at 65th Street. The extension would connect the existing truck route down to 86th Street, where currently no truck routes exist in the core Bay Ridge area along a highly commercial area. And for 86th Street, the extension of the existing 86th Street truck route west to connect with 3rd Avenue supports egress/entry of trucks into and out of Bay Ridge and serves a high-density commercial corridor. So here are other proposed changes in Brooklyn that are outside Board 10. You can see there's quite a few. I'm just here to show. There's a pretty long list here, and there are future focus areas, future potential study areas, including Metropolitan Avenue and Grand Street, Church and Caton Avenues, Red Hook, Greenpoint, considerations for street improvement projects, change in truck route designation/classification, signage, and wayfinding improvements. So these are the few slides that DOT has shared with us. The real focus of tonight is to share with the committee that there are 2 new areas in Board 10 that have been added to the in the truck route redesign, both on 3rd Avenue and on 86th Street. We will have the opportunity to do formal public comments during the rulemaking, which again is expected, sometime this spring. We haven't received a date yet. But DOT did say that if we have any questions in advance of the rulemaking, public process, we can certainly send over materials. The full report is available online. I could share everyone the link. It's a big report. It's well over 100 pages. And I'm going to stop my share and turn it back to you, Jane, to see what you all think. Should we have any comments now, ask any questions now of DOT? We do have an opportunity, and we don't have a date yet for the rulemaking public process to begin.
Okay, so just reviewing that once again, so then we're looking at the 65th Street, on Third Avenue from 65th to 86th Street.
Correct.
So again, that it says there's currently no truck routes. So I'm understanding then that it would extend from 65th to 86th Street along Third Avenue.
Yes.
And that on 86th Street from Third Avenue to Fort Hamilton Parkway.
Correct.
So those are the two spots for our particular, so that's as indicated by those green lines that you're pointing at now, correct?
Right. Yeah. So currently, the thinner line is the existing route, and that's been really feeding into Third Avenue down, 65th Street. So that will now be able to continue to 86th Street. And then 86th Street, it will, add that piece from Third Avenue to Fort Hamilton Parkway. Currently, 86th Street from Fort Hamilton Parkway going, in the direction of Bensonhurst, east, I guess that would be east, west is the water, would be added. So this piece here from Third to Fort Hamilton Parkway, and of course the piece from 65th Street down to 86th Street.
Right.
And in Sunset Park would add Second Avenue. And I could tell you on the briefing call in September when this was, first mentioned, it wasn't formalized at that point. We were waiting for the formal. Some of the feedback that we heard from, in Bay Ridge was concerned that Second Avenue truck traffic might continue through onto Ridge Boulevard. Would there be enough signage to, and outreach, to prevent that from happening, because Second Avenue also feeds into 65th Street. So this is, new. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of outreach, and, clearly some, it's going to be very new and very different. Way
Right.
of
And
traveling.
we
Well,
already have a lot of truck traffic on Third Avenue.
right.
As
Truck-
it stands now.
Right. I mean, trucks are permitted on local corridors to have deliveries. That is absolutely true. So this would allow trucks, I guess, that don't necessarily have deliveries to also be able to utilize it as a route, to the highway or to the bridge.
Right. Okay. And
So you have a bunch of hands up.
Yes, I saw that we had a bunch of hands up. Exactly. So I don't know if you have any at the table, Josephine, but I see Staley.
Yes.
And Doris and then Dino. So
Okay.
we could go to each of them. If you could help facilitate that, I'd appreciate it.
Yeah. Okay, Staley, you're up.
Hey, everyone can hear me okay, right?
Yes.
All right. I think I don't think there's any other way to put this. I think this is a terrible idea to run the truck route down Third Avenue. I'd be curious as to why 7th Avenue. I mean, that's not ideal, but why 7th Avenue? What was wrong with using 7th Avenue as the truck route? That seems reasonable. Third Avenue, as Jane Marie pointed out, is already congested. This is an avenue that, first of all, has a lot of our schools and our restaurants. In addition to being congested, it's an avenue that people spend time on and enjoy walking down, and we don't want to have trucks rumbling down it. But those trucks are also going to be competing with buses, our ongoing valet parking problems, and all those other things on Third Avenue. So I don't know. I mean, off the top of my head, I'm not sure what an alternative is. But I think at the very least, they need to really justify to us why they need to use this particular stretch of Third Avenue. I don't see any reason why they would need to.
Okay, so Jane, then I'm gonna make a list of everyone, so
Yeah.
Staley's concerns about the why, and schools or restaurants, and this was certainly discussed on that call, and I think we could put that, as concern number one, feedback idea number one. Okay. So then we have Doris, Dino, and then Larry,
Great.
Okay, I
and then Carmen.
have a couple of questions. My first is, did they do traffic studies at any of the busiest intersections on Third Avenue on this new corridor? On 65th Street, 75th Street, 86th and 3rd, 86th and 5th, 86th and Fort Hamilton. Did they do any traffic studies there? And could we see the results?
Okay.
And will they have any enforcement mechanisms for overweight trucks? There are passive ways to do that, and overweight trucks, and there are many, many of them, put a tremendous burden on our infrastructure, and it could have really severe impact on our community. And I also want to support what Staley said about this is way too busy a corridor to be adding more trucks. Thank you.
Okay, got it. Dino?
Yeah, I just want to echo basically what everyone's saying here. I believe a truck route allows up to 53-foot trucks, if I'm not mistaken, which
Yes.
is insanely large to be putting. I mean, there's like a shared bike lane on Third Avenue, at least for a portion of it. With all the restaurants, there's all the delivery workers that have to use that corridor, and then to put them in conflict with these giant trucks is just, an accident waiting to happen. And also the putting stress on the infrastructure. The reason Third Avenue under the BQE is so terrible with the potholes is because of all the trucks. And now you're gonna, mess up the roads, which is very expensive to constantly have to repair. Again, 7th Avenue seems like the more reasonable choice if you have to allow a truck route through our district. So.
Okay. Larry?
I'm just looking at this, it seems to be almost the one backward. Here we are. But, well, first we're gonna have trucks going right at the Lutheran Hospital. The truck will right at Lutheran Hospital on 2nd Avenue. Then we're gonna have 3rd Avenue, which we all know is a very busy commercial corridor, it's a bus route. And then we're putting trucks into this heavy, 53-foot long trucks right down the middle. It's a disaster, accident waiting to happen. There's gonna be tragedies are gonna be if this happens. And then you're gonna having to make a turn onto 86th Street, the major commercial corridor in the neighborhood. It's almost like doing everything backwards, doing right into 86th Street. And we're gonna have trucks barreling down 86th Street. It seems to be the wrong way to do things.
Okay, Carmen?
Well, I wrote down a couple of things. And one of them is 86th Street. When I'm on 86th Street and that double bus is making a turn, it's like everything stops. Even the pedestrians stop to see if he's gonna make that turn. And I'm always amazed that this happens no matter what time of day, people will stop to watch. So I'm thinking a big truck, this is just adding like potential danger there. And then if there's any way they can give us an estimated number of trucks that could possibly be using that route. Because when I'm on 3rd Avenue and say the big grocery stores are getting a delivery, then anybody behind that truck has to kind of go in the other lane if traffic permits to keep going. So it's like, it doesn't take much to shut down either direction. And then the other thing that I've seen happen a few times is not so much, well, in other areas, like these drivers are really high up. And somebody mentioned like the schools, they're pretty high up and kids don't always look where they're going. And I always like, yell out to them like, stop or wait there, wait for your mom or something. They're so high, they may not see like kids going back and forth. And what you see a lot on Third Avenue at any time of day, it's like little kids, little groups of boys or moms or baby cat. And that is just so frightening. It's just, because I'm thinking to myself, can you pick a busier street to try to drive a truck down? Like, I don't see anything good in that. I understand you need to transport goods back and forth. That's a necessity. But Third Avenue is just not the place for it.
Leave well enough
Yeah.
alone.
Yeah.
Well, the way,
It's,
leave well enough alone, leave everything on Seventh Avenue, that's the way it is.
Doris?
All
I
right.
just want to reinforce something that Dino said. Many of these trucks are the 53 footers. And they can't make many turns. I've been in many places in Brooklyn where they're trying to make a turn and they just can't do it. There is not enough room. And I think the turning on from Third Avenue onto 86th Street will be a disaster.
Yeah. I just want to thank all the committee members for really bringing up and echoing our concerns about safety and safety for our community. I appreciate Staley and Dino gave that suggestion about 7th Avenue, and if 7th Avenue was looked at, we would like to find out more feedback about that as an alternative, because that is one of our, lesser congested routes that we could certainly look at. But looking at an already congested route, as everybody has indicated, their concerns for businesses, for pedestrians, for bicyclists, for our youngest residents, our children crossing streets, that it presents a host of concerns for us that we have as a committee. And I'm sure that once this comes to, as you said, the more public time for feedback, that always is a very small window. So if we can bring these things to DOT, the earlier the better for us as a community board being responsive to our concerns of our committee members and of our community in general, our neighbors.
Okay, so I guess we could formally motion to put all of this feedback
Yes.
into a letter to DOT and also perhaps copy our elected officials.
Definitely, because there is such a concern. We just met with the Third Avenue bid, and with the bringing up in the Third Avenue Festival, and there's so many things that are happening on Third, and they're trying to really support our merchants and support our community to have, to take care of the families and all of the people that live there. So this would really be something we want to bring to the forefront as soon as possible. I see Dino has another question or comment.
Yeah, if we're going to formalize these comments, I just wanted to add that it's going to add pollution to the area. It's going to add
Yes.
noise pollution.
Yes.
And also there's so many restaurants that are really lovely to sit, in the warmer months, sit outside, have a coffee or whatever. And just having 53-foot trucks pass you by when you're just trying to enjoy your day is terrible. So I don't even know what they were thinking, suggesting Third Avenue. It's insane.
Yeah. And that brings up a point too about Josephine, anything with outdoor dining.
Right.
yeah, now is the street even.
Yeah. No, that's true. I mean, certainly, I don't know the number off the top of my head, but we have many restaurants along Third who participate in outdoor dining that are north of 86th Street, for sure.
I have one more, but if they allow this, is this a 24-hour time?
Yeah, a truck route is
24 hours, yes.
365 days a year, 24 hours a day. Yeah. I'm sorry, Doris, did you have your hand?
Yeah, I have another comment. This seems there has been a move to do something at the Red Hook Marine Terminal. And the most recent discussion I have heard is to turn it into an area to make our waterways a blue highway, the waterway highway, to use to bring cargo in there and to bring it by barge to other places in the city and to reduce the amount of truck traffic in the city. And this seems to completely ignore that, and it seems to be oblivious to other options. Thank you for letting me rant.
Thanks for ranting, Doris. But it's truly, you know, again, all of these different points really kind of speak to the same thing. Is this the right place, or is this the right way when you're going through such an already congested and busy street? So thank you for that. And, you know, we were just talking a moment ago about with the festivals, with that crowding of 3 schools on the corner of 86th and Ridge. Well, this is just a block away. This is a block away. Where do those kids go when they get out of that crowded school intersection? Many go right up the block to 3rd Avenue and 86th Street to continue their walk home.
Yeah, that's also an excellent point, right? So what are they going to do when we're having parades and festivals and all these other things along 3rd Avenue? Are they going to constantly be rerouting trucks into other parts of the neighborhood? It just doesn't make any sense.
Right. Thank you. All right. I really do appreciate everybody's feedback for that. All right, Josephine, I think that really was our last thing on the agenda.
Yeah, we just need a motion. If we're going to do a letter to
Okay.
DOT, with all of the feedback that we put together, a second, and then we could put that on the agenda as a vote.
The motion, I think, is going to wind up, I'm going to see a lot of hands. So do I have a motion for that to write that letter?
Yeah, if I see Doris,
Seeing
Dina,
those hands.
enough,
That's
got a
it.
second there. Okay.
Everybody's on board with it.
So Jane will write up all of the feedback that we had tonight. And it seems like everyone's in favor. It's unanimous. So that's a good thing. And then I have a resident here. I'm going to give you the feedback that we talked about, and then
would I be able to discuss this any further? Because I'm so sorry, but when I looked at the agenda, I didn't understand that it was tonight, although I had an inkling that it would be tonight. So there were other people that would have wanted to come, but I didn't have time.
Yeah. Just to recap it for you, and then we could talk offline once the meeting is over, is that there was discussion about the Holy Cross application, about concerns about sidewalk access, and that there be a pathway, you know, with the ride, you know, emergencies, the pedestrian travel for the children, you know, maintaining the, you know, hours of operation, you know, the sound permit within, you know, the noise code, those kinds of, you know, stipulations, which are each year. And there was a sign that's put up. There's a process if there's any sign removals by the ride company. So that's,
I understand that.
yeah, so there's a sign that sometimes the ride person who was in charge couldn't fit the ride, so that sign had to be removed. There's an official process that he was notified of if he wants to remove any signage for the event, that has to be applied for. So that was the stipulation agreement that was set by the committee.
I see. Oh boy, I wish I would have gotten here a little earlier. That's all fine. In terms of what I wanted to talk about, that's all sounds like status quo and sounds like it's a safety issue. So I appreciate you telling me about that. It makes me happy.
Okay.
I enjoy this festival every year. I did have some concerns, but I understand if it can't be in the record and that I can't speak about it right now, I understand, and I'll wait until later.
Okay, and then I'll take your feedback and I'll present it to the committee. Okay, all right, Jane.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I
Before we adjourn,
Oh,
I would like to thank you as our new chair for leading us.
What's
Welcome.
always new again. That's that. But it's a great committee, and thank you so much, Doris, and thank you all for coming out this evening. Do we have I believe we have our motion to adjourn our
Yes,
team
very good.
meeting.